Hey, where's everyone at?
I want to welcome our next performer.
Yeah, you guys pumped? Make some noise, come on. Yeah.
Let's give it up for
Goldie Garcia. Goldie Garcia.
Hey, people, performing to another sellout audience in Albuquerque, New Mexico. 10 people, hence my point, okay? Wow. Yeah, I do. We do. I'm glad they're here. You know, half our comics, you know? But I'm a native New Mexican, and I come from a prominent Latino family. Yeah, my grandfather is the head of the Mexican mafia. He makes people offers they can't understand. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Only heard these jokes 100 times. I'm an educated woman. I do have a diploma from Harvard University. People, where's my applause? I'm from South Broadway. Thank you. You know South Broadway, right? The Espanola of Albuquerque. So I have this diploma from Harvard University hanging on my wall. Yeah, I swiped it off my gynecologist wall, right? With my feet. They're like, oh, cochina. I love when Animal was up here because he uses a lot of like old country Hispanic stuff, you know, names and things. Well, let's see. Oh, you know, going to an Ivy League school, coming out west, you don't get the best respect. But I often run into people that try to tell me that their college was the Harvard of the Southwest, right? Like people always tell me in Colorado that Colorado College is the Harvard of the West. Well, the other day, this woman was trying to convince me that her school was the Harvard of the West. I'm saying, really? The toffee making class in the home ec department at the ladies' penitentiary? Wow, who would have known? It must be New Mexico's greatest secret. Thank you. And, you know, my degree was in humanities, and I always feel like it's my role to protect the Mexicans. I mean, people, we have to be, you know, come to the realization they are here. They're going nowhere. They're throughout the world. They're in Norway. Yeah, I mean, I'm one, okay? They're in Norway. I mean, there's a little Mexican guy in Norway working in the kitchen. His name is Bjorn Sanchez Garcia de Guadalupe de Chavez de Stock Joke. And like I was working in Old Town, and these the couple from Philadelphia, you know, they were a couple married wearing the his and her pussy whip matching shirts. And they started bashing the Mexicans. I mean, I'm Miss Senorita New Mexico. You know, they had a Senorita New Mexico contest. I'd probably win. But they start bashing the Mexicans, and it's nothing new that I've ever heard. Nothing new. It's like, oh, my tax dollars this, illegal papers that. But they happened to say something that really surprised the pants off me. That's new. I just made that up now. But, yeah, he says, well, we're afraid up in Philadelphia that those Mexicans are going to get drunk and run over our little girls. And I'm thinking, well, isn't that a trip, huh, Miss Chicana, New Mexico? Isn't that a trip? And I'm like, well, thinking, well, you know, while you're on vacation, the Mexicans in Philadelphia are not getting drunk and running over your little girls. No, they're fucking them. Yeah. In 9 months from now, you're going to have a little granddaughter you're going to have to name Hecho en Mexico. Finally tighten that piece up. And see, racism is a real trip. You know what really bothered me about these people? She's carrying one of those Mexican purses made out of bubblegum wrappers, you know? And then she's wearing those huarache kind of shoes that from Mexico, and they hate the Mexicans. So then the next thing they had to ask me after bashing the Mexicans were like, hey, do you happen to know of an authentic Mexican restaurant we could eat at? So I gave them a map to Juarez. I said, yeah, go ask for the cartel. Let's go around for the cartel. Goldie sent you. And racism, I've seen a lot of acts of racism, and I'm not pro-nouveau racism either. But mainly because I've experienced it in comedy, especially here in Albuquerque. Like, I'd come home in the summers from Boston to perform comedy, and I'd go to Laughs when they first opened, because when I started comedy, we didn't have a comedy club. So I go to Laughs, and after I do open mic, the owner comes up to me and says, you know, Hispanic humor is okay for a Hispanic audience, but not here. I'm in New Mexico, what the fuck, you know? And I go look at the menu. And they have quesadillas for sale, tecates for sale, burritos, huevos rancheros, chihuahuas for sale, piñatas, chiclets. Chiclets. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin wrote that bunch. So I just would get on the train. I've taken the train about 5 times across country, but I get on the train and I'd say, fuck you, New Mexico, you know, and I'd get the hell out of here. But, and then there's another thing. You know, it's really weird to come back because I consider myself the poster child for the land of entrapment. I came here from LA to take a break and I got stuck. So 20 years later, but, which I don't know what the fuck was my point there. Damn it to hell. Damn, where's the fish oil when you need it? The ginkgo biloba just wore off. Oh, well, I got a lot of other stuff. You know, I'm annoying. I think I'm a little bit annoying because I am painfully honest. I was never born with a filter, okay? I don't kiss ass like a politician and never will. So, I used to write for the paper for 3 years, and I was so honest that the head of P&M tried to get me fired a few times when I was talking about raise hikes. So, and then I'm thinking, how could there just be, when you die, heaven, hell, and limbo, right? I think, well, hell, let's add cyberspace to that, all right? You can go, and I'll tell you, I figured out how I'm going to get into cyberspace. Because let's say I die and I go to heaven. I'd be up there at the pearly gates talking to St. Peter, and I'd be like, you know what? That angel on the harp really sucks, you know? I'd knock on the walls in heaven, I'd go, is this real Adobe? And St. Peter would say, get the heaven out of here, and banish me down to hell, okay? Then I'd end up with Lucifer. And I'd be there like, hey, you know, you actually look a little taller in your pictures. And he'd say, get the hell out of here, and banish me to limbo. Then I'd be in limbo with the lost souls, and they'd be reaching toward the heavens. And the people in hell would be banging the ceiling with the devil's pitchfork. Will you quit dragging your feet up there? We're trying to sin down here. And I tell the people in limbo, I'd be like, man, if you want to get to heaven, I've been there. It's bright lights, big city. Yeah, so you got to get rid of those tattered clothes and maybe use those Crest white strips. And they'd say, get the limbo out of here. And then I'd end up in cyberspace. Just another annoying little virus. God, let's see what else I can talk about. I'm an animal hoarder. Anybody else hoard stray dogs? I just found another dog today. Please, people, take it off my hands. I already have 5 dogs. But now I understand why every time I see a lost dog, they run away from me. They're like, damn, the animal hoarder. They run away. But I love having animals. I love dogs. You know what I love about dogs better than kids? Is that when you leave the house, they don't play with matches, right? But I couldn't be a dog. As much as I love dogs, I couldn't live with that much hair on my face. You know, all day long, that much hair on my face. And the thing about dogs is that I've chosen to be single in life. I've chosen happily single. I've chosen not to have kids because, especially getting married, because men are a lot of work. But I'll tell you, I had dogs instead, and they're even more work. All day long, I'm picking up their bowls, their doggy toys, putting food down for 5 dogs. People, I bent over more for these dogs than I ever have for any man. You didn't see that coming, huh?